I feel like eating myself up. I feel like cutting my legs off. Just let my dog rape me. I want the power! I want a power! I want the power! I'm going nuts! I'm hungry! Come on, somebody rape me, guys, and damn it! Wake up, black people. Wake up. Wake up, black people. Wake up.
All right, a couple of songs to get everyone in the mood for what is going to be a very exciting competition. This is the first big Wack Pack Family Feud. Robin, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes. Well, let's see. Let's see how good it is to be here. I'm excited about this. Everybody knows Wendy the Retard from our show. She calls in all the time. And everyone knows Daniel Carver of the Ku Klux Klan. He calls in all the time. We always listen to his messages. What's extra exciting about today's show is there's a $10,000 prize for Wack Pack Family Feud. We have an exciting competition. Who's going to win the $10,000 prize? And let me first say hello to Wendy the Retard. Wendy, how are you? It's good to see you here.
I'm doing fine, Howard.
Yes, and I see you've brought your lovely mother with you.
Yes, I did.
Let me introduce our audience to the very beautiful Joyce. How are you, Joyce?
I'm fine.
Thank you for coming down here today.
Are you ready to play? Yeah.
I've heard you feel a little bit nervous about this. You feel Daniel...
Not a little. I'm a lot nervous.
You're a lot nervous. You feel Daniel's family has a stronger position.
Oh, yeah.
Because of Wendy's retardation.
Put us all together, and yeah, it's pretty bad. And you'd really like the money. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone can use $10,000. Let's put it that way. All right. Well, let me also introduce the third member of your family, Becca, who is Wendy's sister. Hi, Becca.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
We've never talked to Becca, have we?
Never met Becca before.
No.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Do you live at home? How old are you? And tell us some information.
I'm 18 and I live at home.
You do?
Yeah.
And what am I hearing? I'm hearing a lot of conversation going on somewhere.
It's not in here.
It's not in here? It's really weird. It's really distracting. What is that, Scott? You just killed it. I just got to know what you're doing over there. That's what it is. You're killing me, brother. Turn it. Oh, I see. That's Wendy? Wendy, what are you doing over there?
What is she doing?
It's my radio. I'm recording the show.
Oh, you're recording the show. I was going berserk. I said, I hear... And I was blaming poor Scott, the engineer. Wendy, you were recording the show.
Yes.
All
I
right.
record you almost the whole time, every single day. My mom says, do you get tired of recording the show? I said, no.
Well, you're a true fan,
What do
and I
you
love
do
that.
with all those recordings?
Listen to them, keep listening to them till they wear out, then record over them again.
Believe me, I wish everyone was like you, Wendy.
The commercials, too.
She even listens to the commercials. What about you, Becca? Are you a big fan, or you're not as into it as Wendy?
I'm into it. I'm just living my life, doing my own thing.
Right, yeah. What is that? What are you going to be doing?
I work and
Yeah. Where do you work?
McDonald's.
Oh, no kidding. What do you do there? You fry stuff, or you're working behind the counter?
Are you at the window?
I've done everything at McDonald's. I've worked, made the food, done the cash register.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Handing it out the window.
Have you ever actually worked the window where you hand stuff out?
Yes.
Oh, you have done that?
Yes.
Is that fun? Is that I would think that would be the most
Is that
fun.
the best job, you think?
Yeah.
No, not really, because then you deal with some rude customers, and then sometimes it just ruins your whole day.
Oh, dear.
And what is the best job at McDonald's?
I'd say making the food, because you're just sitting there doing your own thing, and you just read the thing of how they want their food, and you make it and just throw it down the line.
Guys try to pick you up there? I mean, you're a very pretty girl. I could see that men would probably bug you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get any work done?
Are you close to Wendy? I mean, are you two sisters close, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
are?
she drives me nuts sometimes.
She usually gives me half off at McDonald's.
Oh.
Really?
Sweet.
So you
got a
love
good-
your sister.
Sweden, right.
Yeah, that's nice to have relatives with connections like that.
What do you fight about?
We usually
When she
fight-
runs her mouth and she doesn't shut up,
Yeah,
and she
and
just
then we
repeats the
usually
same
fight
thing over and over
the
again.
TV and my game system thing.
I can't imagine Wendy would annoy you.
Does her drumming annoy you?
Yeah, do you ever listen to her drum?
Yeah, after living with her for 18 years, it's...
Yeah.
How could the drumming annoy you?
That's what she's saying. 18 years of Wendy, drumming is nothing.
I keep myself occupied by playing the drums and leave my mom and sister alone.
Well, let me tell you, you're a lovely family. I wish you luck today in the game, but you've got some stiff competition. Let's say hello to Daniel Carver from the Ku Klux Klan. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Howard.
And you brought your family with you.
Yeah, I've got my wife and my son, Daniel Carver, Jr.
Let's introduce the world to Darlene. Darlene, you are Daniel's longtime wife. How many years married?
37.
37 years. Has it all been easy with Daniel, or do you eat like most couples? Ku Klux Klan stuff aside, is it like most couples? Do you have your little fights? Do things annoy you about Daniel?
Well, a little bit.
Yeah. I would imagine the Ku Klux Klan, though, brings you together. It's 37 hate-filled years, right? I mean, that's something you both enjoy doing.
Oh, it's 37 years of joy and love and wonderful years.
How is it living up in the mountains? I know Daniel moved you to the mountains. Are you okay with that?
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, we
You
love it.
You have a good life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful life.
Right. And, of course, I didn't know this, but there is a Daniel Carver Jr.
Thank goodness the name won't die.
The name will live on.
And a third.
Are you the firstborn?
Yes, sir. I'm the firstborn, and my son's also Daniel Carver the third.
Look at Daniel smiling for the first
He's so
time.
proud, huh?
Look at you. You never smile, but that makes you happy.
That makes me happy. The name will go on.
Yes.
I got a question for Daniel. I'm not trying to embarrass you in any way, but I just noticed, have you been dyeing your hair?
No, it's coming out.
No, it's just darker than it usually is.
Have you gone Hollywood on us?
No, I don't do anything to my hair. No tattoos, no earrings.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And
You're
he's
a
got a
man's
little
man.
sort of a monk's cap going there in the back. That's what I'm seeing.
What do you mean? Oh, you're losing your hair.
Yeah, I'm losing my hair.
You know, I spoke to Daniel in the green room, Howard, and I said, good luck today. And he goes, really? How could I lose?
Oh, confident.
He's confident after he took me for 25 G's in the football pool.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Daniel,
He's always beating up on the retarded.
Daniel, your son, Daniel Carver Jr., what about your involvement in the Klan? Are you a Klan guy? Have you broken the family tradition of hate, or are you
right in there?
I guess I come up as the nigger hater agitator number 2 in the family.
Geez.
Well, at least you imagine if Daniel Carver Jr. loved black people.
Oh, he wouldn't be in the family, according to Daniel.
That's what I'm saying. Would you take back your name? Would you not allow him to be Daniel Carver Jr. if he liked
Well,
him?
the Bible says you raise them in a way and they'll stay that way. So we raised him to love his own race.
Right. Did you ever think for a while, Daniel Jr., that maybe I'll go a different direction than my dad, or you just bought into the whole thing?
Were there rebellious years?
Yeah, were there rebellious years where you liked black people?
You're like you watch the Jeffersons or something?
Yeah.
Hey, I watched the Jefferson.
Yeah,
Daniel loves to watch the Jeffersons.
we watch nigger comedians and make fun of them, but you can watch niggers out here on the streets in New York and make fun of them. They're as funny as Eddie Murphy just to watch them.
So,
Oh, my goodness. You had to bring him to New York.
Hey, who's the funniest nigger comedian?
Well, you don't want to say that. You want to say who's the famous black comedian. I don't
No,
know.
that's what he said.
He's
I
speaking Danielese.
Now, go ahead and speak freely. They're niggers, and you know it, too. It's okay.
I don't feel that way. But which of you hates black people the most, would you say? Is there who hates black people the most?
It ain't really that we hate them. We love our own race.
Right. Mrs. Carver, you go along with that, too?
Of course I love my own race.
Did you ever talk to the kids and say, listen, your father's very extreme, maybe you don't have to hate that much, or you just felt the kids should learn about loving their own race?
No, we raised them that they're supposed to stay with their own race. They're supposed to marry their own race. They're supposed to love their own race.
Right.
We ain't never taught them to mistreat no one, but you don't bring them home for supper.
Right. There's never been a black person in the Carver house?
No, never.
Never, and never will be?
No, never will
Never.
be.
I got a question.
Wow.
I make delivery people stop at the end of the road and deliver up to my house. If it's niggers, they have to sit at the end of the driveway.
But how do they know?
Boy,
They know I've got my yard decorated like he used to have his decorated similar.
Dad, you got to be proud right now.
Proud.
I mean,
He's a chip off the old block.
right.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, the pipe breaks in your house. There's water coming everywhere. You call an emergency plumber.
We are plumbers.
Okay. Different scenario.
All right, let's say-
Take that. House is on fire. House is on fire.
House is
right?
on fire. Go ahead.
Black fireman's first guy in the scene. What happens?
Well,
Hand me the hose.
Really?
All right, you're on fire.
If you're
I stay on
I
fire.
don't think we have any black firemen.
You'll stay on fire?
you would stay on fire rather than have a black man put you out?
Well, there ain't no reason for that.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you.
Okay, so I mean, they're serious.
Dedicated.
That's hardcore right there.
I am sure even Daniel's family has been touched by the tragedy in New Orleans. I would imagine you do have.
We don't have no niggers in New Orleans.
We've been to New Orleans before, and they're not all that bad off. They were eating out of garbage cans. I was there New Year's, and the niggers that have been flooded out today are really better off because they're eating today. Back New Year's, they was eating out of garbage cans. Today, we're dropping them food.
I mean,
We're
this
giving food
sound like Barbara
vouchers.
Bush.
We give
We
every one
saved
of
them
them
with that
$2,000 debit cards.
You
to
don't
go
have
use.
any feeling of compassion to see people floating around in
Well, we
feces?
feel sorry
Well,
for dogs.
It ain't nothing I done.
Huh.
God done it.
Oh, you feel it's a God
cleaned-
thing?
Yeah, it's a God thing. God cleaned up New Orleans.
The government don't like niggers. If it was white people that happened to, they'd already have them all a brand new house built and everything the next day.
That's what.
Cadillac.
You know, he
Yeah.
and
That's what Kanye West said.
Yeah, it would have been instant. If it had been white people, they would have instantly give them all a new house, a new car, a new truck. But since it's niggers, they had to wait 3 days.
We
Daniel,
got that water pumped out of there if it'd been white people.
Daniel Jr., I got to say something. I think you're
He's
even
more
better at
Daniel than Daniel.
You're more Daniel than Daniel. You out Daniel your own father. I mean, you really
Are you going to take over the messages and all of that stuff?
If anything, God forbid, ever happens to your father, will you take over his clan activities and everything?
Yeah, I already help him out a little bit.
Right.
I don't do much, but it don't take much. He does a pretty good job right now.
I got to tell you, Daniel seems liberal next to you.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
You know, he's sort of like Billy Graham Jr.
Well,
in the sense that he has to be even more.
Maybe I'm nigger hater agitator number 1 then.
It could be.
I could be number 2.
You might be number 2
You
at
might have
this
lost
point.
your spot, Daniel.
Well,
I don't know. I think the wife saying she'd stay on fire before a black.
Yeah,
I think
let's
that
not
moves her to the
forget.
top of the list.
Artie, you know what it's like?
Number 1.
It's like Daniel Jr.'s Cal Ripken Jr. He outdid his father.
You know,
Way better.
I never thought I'd see the day. But,
Who
you
knew
know,
Never
there
seen
was
a family
something-
stick together like
the
that.
family does stick together in its own way. I don't approve of the hatred, but it does bring you all together, doesn't it?
But we never thought anybody'd have a worse mouth than Daniel.
No, I never
didn't
thought
think
I'd
there was
see.
something beyond
This
that.
is quite remarkable. Scott DePace, our old director for our but also the director for our new television show
Yes.
when that happens in January. Yes, Scott.
How's it going, guys? I just had a quick question for Daniel. If Robin were drowning, would you save her?
Let her drown.
If I was there and could save her, I would.
You would save her?
I would save anything from drowning. If I was there and there was a dog drowning, I would save the dog.
But Mrs.
All
Carver
right,
is
it's a
saying...
dog and me. Who gets saved first?
All right, there's
The
a
dog.
The dog before Robin.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Mrs. Carver, you wouldn't even bother helping
Oh,
Robin.
no, she
Oh,
doesn't
no,
know me.
leave her out there.
Leave her out.
But Daniel, in the years you've been doing our
Wait
show,
a second. What about Daniel Carver Jr.? Would you help Robin, or would you just leave her?
No, I would drag her out.
You would drag her out.
I would drag her out.
I've seen him.
I'd help her. I'd grab her by her ankles and drag her up through the parking lot, skinning her head till I got her to safety.
Wow.
Twice yesterday afternoon, I seen Danny give them homeless niggers down on the sidewalk $1. I mean, he was making fun of them doing it, but he'd give them,
You know,
he'd give them $1 so they get them something to eat with.
I gave a nigger a $20 bill this morning that was begging for money.
you know, I realized something. The real game here is who's more racist. I think Mrs. Carver is winning because Mrs.
in her
Carver
own quiet way.
would not save Robin's life. She would let her drown.
Let her drown.
Daniel's a softie. He'd drag you out, and
He's
Daniel
saving
Jr. would
me.
drag you
Mrs.
out.
Carver would stay on fire.
Mrs. Carver is so committed to her clan stuff that she would stay on
burn up.
fire before she'd let you put her out.
That's right. She'd burn up.
You win. We should just give her the money.
See, I've always thought Daniel's been doing our show for a long time, and I thought that over the 10 or 15 years you've been doing our show that you have developed a certain fondness for Robin.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't let her drown. I told you that.
Right.
He actually called me for my 50th birthday, which shocked everybody.
It really
Happy
was.
birthday, nigga.
He's just hoping you'll get old enough to die.
Boy, she really takes the cake.
All she does sits back there in that cage like a laughing hyena or something. I mean, she ain't never bothered me.
Look at
Hyena,
Daniel.
whatever.
Daniel has to attack you now because his wife is
Right, look, he's looking bad
is
in
getting
front
more
of the family.
fans.
He'll get shut out tonight.
Mrs. Carver, you're a bit of a comedian, too, in the sense that I bet at the Klan part, or when the women all get together, you're the jokester in the group. Would I be accurate in saying that?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, you are serious.
Where did you get the impression that she was funny?
Well, I don't know. Some of the answers.
You're laughing so much, Robin. That's what made them think it's funny.
All right. Well, let me tell you something. This is going to be an exciting matchup. The Carver family versus Wendy's family. It's going to be a tough competition.
Howard.
Hi, Wendy. We almost forgot about you.
I forgot to tell you, we have a hurricane on our side of Florida.
What?
We got a hurricane on the side of our Florida. They don't know where it's going.
It won't hit Daytona. They're white people down there. You safe.
And
Wendy.
plus, I'm worried about. I hope they don't cancel my Olympics Saturday.
Oh, are you going
Special
to the
Olympics?
Special Olympics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What in bowling?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Well, you go out there and you take the gold.
I'm on Brandy, Cheryl. We're on a team, and we're gonna make it all the way up to Tampa again.
Well, good for you, and I do wish you luck. And remember not to eat the ball this year.
Okay.
All right. And hey, Mrs. Carver, I always ask Daniel this: rate the races. In other words, who's the lowest? Are the Jews or the blacks the lowest, or the Asians or the Mexicans? Who, in your opinion, is the lowest race?
Well, my gracious, Howard, I hate to put you down so bad. But
Go ahead.
I guess I'd say the niggers.
Really? The blacks worse than the Jews?
Yeah, I
Daniel, you
guess so.
disagree?
At least you are white skinned.
I disagree. The Jews are the devil. The niggers just a dumb animal.
A rift in the family.
You see, you two don't get along all that well. Did you used to hear your
We're
parents?
not arguing about it.
Did your parents argue about this at night, Daniel Jr.?
No, they don't argue about that at night.
They don't. What do you think? Who's the lowest, the Jews or the blacks?
The darker the skin, the worse they are. And the way I look, that's the way I think about it.
You go more
the
with Mom?
niggers, The niggers is the
Yeah,
worst.
at least you're
and then
white.
The darker the skin. Like if you didn't tell me a Jew and it wasn't for your nose, I wouldn't even know you was a Jew.
Yeah, well, thank you
Wolf
for
in
that.
sheep's
And
clothing.
That's right, a wolf in sheep's clothing is always
If
worse.
you just covered your face up, I'd think you was a nigger.
I see. Well, thank you.
Just that kinky hair.
Yeah, well, that
Right, the
kinky
kinky hair, the curly hair.
Howard.
But women love kinky hair like yours or no hair like mine. So
Right. It's
I know
always
what
a good
you
look.
want for- Yeah, there you go.
Well, you have a nice family unit yourself. You're married and have a kid. Is that one kid or?
No, I have two kids. I have a daughter who's 18. She just graduated and started college this year.
Everybody hate black people and Jews in your family, or some of the kids getting all liberal?
No, we all stand together.
You all stand together.
Yeah. we all
And where
stand
do you
together.
send her to college?
She goes to Burnell University in Gainesville. It's a private women's college.
Perfect. All right. Well, listen, you guys are going to need to really put on your thinking caps now, because it's time to play the feud.
Howard.
Yes, Wendy, are you ready to play?
I ran into 3 people that know me in New York Street yesterday, and one of them, and a couple of the guys I met wanted me to give them a plug.
Wendy, look at me. It's time to play the game.
Keep your mind on the game.
Keep your mind on the game.
Don't get fooled by those people.
$10,000.
All right.
Focus.
We have 2 categories of questions in Family Feud. I'm going to ask Daniel and Wendy to step up to the buzzer first. There's 2 categories of questions. Some of them have to do with hate to help Daniel, and some of them have to do with retardation to help Wendy.
I was going to say, what can you use to help Wendy?
Well, some questions are about being retarded, and some are questions about hate. I'm going to go to a hate question first, okay? Because everyone can answer both categories.
Now, does everybody understand the game? Wendy knows how to play the game?
Now, Wendy, if you have an answer, you hit the buzzer, and we'll be able. Whoever hits the buzzer first gets to answer first. Okay. Here's your category. We went on the street. We asked tons of people, what's the worst thing to call a Jew? What do you think the worst thing is to call a Jew?
The retards.
Well, hold it a second. Daniel buzzed in first. Go ahead, Daniel.
Kike.
Kike is the number 1 answer. That's 72 points. Kike. Daniel, you get to either hand off to Wendy's team or take it yourself. There's 4 answers up there on the board.
Oh, we'll play.
You're going to play. Okay. You've got 72 points and some opportunities here.
So is that a retarded question or a hate question?
That was a hate question. All right, I'm going to go to Mrs. Carver. Now, remember, don't talk among yourselves here, because that's cheating.
Got to be your answer.
That's right. It's got to be your answer. What is the worst thing to call a Jew, Mrs. Carver?
Oh, my gracious. I have no idea, but I would think maybe a devil, because that's what they are, devils.
Let's see if there's devil up on the board. No devil. No devil. No one said devil.
No one got that extreme.
Going to go to Daniel Carver Jr., who seems to know something about hating Jews. Let's find out the worst thing to call a Jew. There's 3 more answers up on our board.
I would just guess a Christ killer.
A Christ killer. Good answer.
Is that up there on the board?
Let's see. Christ killer. Nope.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
That's a second strike.
That's a second strike. Daniel, you're going to give them an opportunity to steal. Remember, we surveyed in New York. What's the worst thing to call a Jew? You said kike. That's the number 1 answer, but there's 3 others.
Jew boy.
Let's see. Jew boy. Nope, no Jew boy. Let's go to...
Chance for Wendy's family to steal.
Now, let me explain the game. Wendy and family, you can have a conference now. You're allowed. Don't...
I don't call people names.
Wendy, come on. You got to come
Fag.
up with... You could... come on.
I'm not a Jew to ask me. Can you say that?
Well, yeah, you could say whatever you want. You just got to agree among the 3 of you for 1 answer.
Fag.
I wouldn't know what to call him.
Just Jew bastard. I don't know.
Jew bastard. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't call people names.
Let's see, Jew bastard. No Jew bastard.
Oh, they get to keep the points.
Let me tell you,
Daniel's
family gets to keep the points.
72 points.
Number 2 answer, Heeb. Heeb. What's wrong with you, Daniel? Come on.
Yeah, I knew it now that you reminded me.
Absolutely. You call a Jew a Heeb.
Thanks for helping.
I'm rusty on making fun of Jews.
You're rusty on Jews because you live up in the mountains.
Yeah,
He's been busy with blacks.
You've been so busy with blacks and Mexicans.
Mexicans. I got a lot of them for Mexicans.
Yeah, well,
maybe that's the next
I
question.
have a question for Daniel's wife. Say you're on fire and a guy puts you out, a white guy, and then you find out he's Jewish. Would you set yourself back on fire?
Well, I'd sure think about it.
All right. The number 3 answer was a dirty Jew, and the number 4 answer to call a Jew is cheap. You know how the Jews are stingy. Okay, there we go. So how many points does Daniel have?
72 points.
72 points. The Carver family has 72 points, and the retarded family, Wendy the retard's family, only has 0.
All right, but there's still a chance.
All right, let's go with the retarded category. We have Joyce, Wendy's mom, and Darlene, Daniel's wife of 38 years. Here we go. We went out and surveyed a bunch of people. Name an occupation a retarded person can do.
The retard.
All right, retards. An occupation a retarded person can do.
Grocery bagger.
A grocery bagger's up there. Number 3 answer with 23 points. That's absolutely right. Let's go to Mrs. Carver. Mrs. Carver, do you...
Does Wendy's family want
No, if Mrs. Carver beats her on this one,
she could get a higher
she could
one
steal.
on the board.
McDonald's.
McDonald's fast food worker, number 1 answer, 35 points. Mrs. Carver, are you going to choose to take this and let the family play this side, or are you going to pass it off to Wendy's family?
Hey, we're taking it. We're
You're
not
taking
retarded.
it. All right. You're not retarded. You're ready to take it. Mrs. Carver, feeling very confident.
I have to ask you something about the scoring, Howard. Now, do they get all of the points because they're taking it right now?
That's right. 35 plus 23.
Wow.
All right. Now you've got 1, 2, 3 answers left. There were a total of 5. I'm going to go to Daniel Carver Jr. Name an occupation a retarded person can do. We have fast food worker and a bagger in a grocery store. Go to Daniel Carver Jr., who's giving it some thought.
It's hard to come up with something somebody retarded can do.
That's right. Well, retarded people can do things.
Yeah, Special Olympics.
Special Olympics. Let's see, Special Olympics. Nope. Not up there. An occupation. All right, let's go to Daniel Carver. Daniel, an occupation a retarded person can do.
Door greeter.
Door greeter.
A door greeter. I'm going to ask for a ruling from the judges. Yes, that's okay. It says Walmart greeter, store greeter. Yeah. Wow.
How many points for
4 points. There's 2 more answers up on the board. The number 2 answer and the number 4 answer. I'm going to go to Mrs. Carver.
Um,
An occupation a retarded person can do. You know,
a window washer.
a window washer. Good answer. Let me see window washer. No window washer. That's the second strike. We go to Daniel Carver Jr. Give it another shot. An occupation a retarded person can do. Otherwise, the retarded people can steal.
Janitorial work.
Janitorial work. Number 2 answer. 26 points. There's one more answer left on the board. Daniel, it was the 4th most answered occupation a retarded person can do. You have a fast food worker, a janitor, a grocery bagger, and a greeter, as you said. It's one more.
One more.
Or the retarded family steals.
Movie star.
Funny answer, but I don't see movie star. All right, we have an opportunity. The retarded family can steal all the points.
All of these 88 points plus.
That's
if they,
right.
Get one answer.
All right, you guys gonna?
Bowl? No, that's not an occupation.
Sure it is.
Bowl?
Anybody
Not
have
helping, Artie.
You got to come up with one answer, Mom. I'm going to ask you to give the answer so you can talk to your daughters if you want. You're allowed to do this at this point in the game. And nobody say disc jockey.
Bowl sounds good to me. Go with that.
Daniel Carver Jr. encouraging the retarded family to go with bowling.
Go with bowling.
Well, you're right. If they don't get it right, you steal.
Politician sounds good.
Politician sounds good. Look at the Carvers even helping the retarded family.
Radio show host.
That's right.
How sweet of
Many have said that of me, yes.
That must be Robin.
Even racism.
No, I'm black. I'm not retarded. It's the worst thing you can be, remember?
That's like a sin.
That's the reason I said you.
All right, let's go. There's some fighting between Robin and the Carvers, but let's go to the retarded
I call that
family.
banter.
Banter.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mom, I'm going to ask you for an answer right away, right now. I need it. Give me something.
Or the racists are going to take it.
What'd you say? Crafts? Crafts.
Yeah,
Crafts.
making.
Oh.
Sorry, it's not crafts. The number 4 answer was busboy. Busboy. So the Carvers once again steal all the points.
They have 160 points now.
Is that right?
Yes.
Don't look so sad, Howard.
Wow. All right, Daniel Carver Jr. and the very beautiful sister of Wendy, Becca. Becca, you feeling confident or what? The family's not doing too good here.
No, I don't feel confident.
Daniel Jr., you're feeling good, I guess, right now, huh?
Oh, finer than frog hair.
All right, here we go. We're playing for $10,000.
You know, I can't figure out what Daniel Jr. thinks I am, but he keeps looking at me funny. I am a little on the dark side, but I'm not black or Hispanic or anything.
Oh, great. It's
he's
great.
just a Yankee.
It's great to be standing next to a fellow white brother then.
Yeah. Well, he's Italian. How do you feel?
At least you didn't bring Robin out here to stand with me.
Boy,
Robin
oh
wasn't
boy.
fooling all over herself to get out there.
Yeah, I'm happy to be right here.
All right, here we go. There's 6 answers here. We're going back to the racist category now.
Oh, boy.
Name a black person that acts white.
White people.
All right, that's the Carvers.
Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson is not up there, Daniel Jr.
The retard. Jackson.
Say again?
Michael Jackson.
No Michael Jackson. I'm going to go back to Daniel Jr. Daniel, name a black person that acts white.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, not up there.
What happens? That's 2 strikes. What do you do? Keep going until
If
you
the
find
retard family doesn't get it, then we go to a new question, a new racist question. You got any answer you could grab right now? A black person that acts real white. No answer.
It's terrible not to be a racist and not have an answer.
All right.
All right, our time is up. Well, I'll give you the answers anyway. Don't sit down yet. We're going to have a new question.
Who made the survey?
Well, Daniel, I bet you could think of some black people that act white, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
How about number 1 answer, Brian Gumbel?
I wouldn't have known him.
Number 2 answer, Colin Powell.
Yeah, I thought he'd be there.
Number 3 person, Denzel Washington. Number 4, Oprah Winfrey. Number 5, Al Roker. And number 6, Wayne Brady. Those are good answers.
I thought Robin would been number 1.
Well, she was not on there, believe it or not.
All of those, is that intelligent niggers? Is that what makes them act white?
Well, listen, I don't buy into any of that.
I don't either.
What is it about those that makes them white?
That's not why. All right, let's try a different racist
That
question.
would be up to you.
Here we go. Now, this is one that everyone should do well, since there's been a lot of banter like this.
What is this about?
All right. We had the worst thing to call a Jewish person. What's the worst thing to call a black person? Oh, Daniel Carver Jr.
The retard.
A nigger.
Oh, wait a second.
It was Daniel Carver.
It was Daniel Carver. And what did you say?
A nigger.
All right. That's the number one answer with 81 points. Are you going to take this one, or are you going to let the retarded
we'll
family?
play.
Okay.
You know they want to play this one.
This is just fun. This is going to be like a dinner conversation.
This is what we do all day.
All right. We have a racist family. We have a retarded family. They're all vying for $10,000.
The retarded family has no points.
I see Daniel Carver, who is in the Ku Klux Klan, is chomping at the bit to get to this one. He's beside himself with this category. Go ahead.
I've seen a lot of them get mad when you call them boy.
Boy is up there. That's the number 5 answer.
How many points?
2 points. Let's go to Mrs. Carver.
Well, all you can call a nigger is a nigger.
Well, that's your feeling.
That is for sure. So, I guess the next thing would be, let me see.
Interesting. I would think of all these
What, do you
Klan
have a lot
meetings.
of choices? Or?
Even Daniel's nodding his
No,
head.
that's just it. You ain't got a lot of choices because a nigger's a nigger and ain't much, and they know that.
Well,
well, we'll just say black.
You're going to say black. Well, I got to tell you, Mrs. Carver, I don't see black. All right, Daniel Jr.
Okay, what about a coon?
Let's see, coon. It's up there. 2 points. Okay. You're on the board with the N-word and boy and coon. All right, let's go to Daniel.
Porch monkey.
Let's see. Yes, that's the number 2 answer. Monkey or porch monkey 9. Okay.
9 points?
Yes. A lot of hatred here, and it seems to be paying off for you. Come on, Mrs. Carver. There's 2 answers left.
Have they gotten any one strike, huh?
They have 1 strike from Mrs. Carver. Mrs. Carver thinking. What about at the Klan meetings?
Nigger.
You knew the Jewish names there, but...
What do I call them on my tape?
I guess just a bubble lip.
Bubble lip. Let's see. Bubble lip. No.
2 strikes.
Sorry, 2 strikes. Let's go to Daniel Jr.
How about a jigaboo?
Let's see what you just said. Not up there. No.
That's 3 strikes. The retards get
All
a
right.
chance to steal.
Now, certainly you guys are not racist, but you've heard some racist talk around you. And what do you hear white people calling black people, or even black people calling? What is that?
Punks.
Punks. Yeah.
What else?
Fag.
Doctor.
The worst thing you can think of now.
Wendy, worst thing you can think of to call a black person. We hear this kind of stuff all the time, and it's very, very depressing. But yet.
Just think about Danny, Wendy. You can do it.
They all call themselves doctor.
Daniel trying to trick
What a comedian.
Wendy.
Like Dr. J and Dr. Dre and
The F word, either the F word or the fag.
the F
That is a
word.
bad thing to call someone, but I don't know if that's what we're looking for. All right, do you have an answer, guys? Or else I've got to let the Carver family take this whole thing. They get 3 categories. That's it.
That'll be 94 points.
Yeah.
Come on, Becca. Just give an answer.
Say something horrible.
Dog.
Dog. Is that your answer, dog?
You took my answers.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go with dog then. Let's see dog. No. Well, the Carver family's taken it all.
You know what? Daniel's prediction wasn't far off.
No.
That's 254 points for the races.
Yeah, they took it all. The number 3 answer was jungle bunny, and number 4 was eggplant. This is what we polled people on the street, so there you go.
Oh, well, everybody's feeling really uplifted now.
I'm thoroughly depressed.
You happy, Howard. You love giving me money.
Well, no. I was hoping that Wendy's family, for once, was going to get a couple of bucks out of this thing, and that maybe hate would lose.
Let them do it again with Gary Retard's family.
All right, maybe we'll have you guys back to play Gary the Retard's family.
Hey.
How's that?
Hey, can I ask Daniel's son a question?
Yeah.
You know, we got coming up right after these guys is Mark Harris.
Yeah.
Where do gays fall in that whole thing?
we may separate on this issue in the family, but there's nothing in my book in the world that's lower than a queer.
Now, who do you think disagrees with us?
Queers fall below niggers. Queers is
below Jews too.
Queers is the worst thing in the world. I don't even want to sit in the same room and breathe with queers. If I know there was queer in the room, I'd just soon have an oxygen mask.
Okay,
well, there's one here.
When you leave, walk by that room very quickly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll definitely will.
Hold your breath.
Daniel, do you disagree with this?
No, I've always said queer should be put to death. That's what the Bible says. The Jews are the devil, niggers are dumb animals, and faggots should be put to death.
Really?
Being queer is the worst thing humans could possibly do.
I see. And Mrs. Carver, I guess there's agreement there, too?
I was just wondering, is it Robin in the room that we need to stay away from?
No, Robin's not gay.
I was trying to figure out where the disagreement in the family was. They all seem pretty well on the same page.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure. I mean, we don't like niggers, but just personally, there's nothing that you can't get lower than a queer.
Well, Mark Harris came by, who is bisexual. I hear he's pacing in the hall and he's upset by it.
He can't wait to get in here.
You can't be bisexual.
No. Bring him in that way and let him sit down.
He's just a little bit queer, huh?
Yeah.
He's got a touch.
Well, I see as a family, there's no disagreement on that.
This is one solid family.
This is one solid family. They do seem to have their hate in order.
And they love it.
Hello, Mark. Mark, I know you're upset by this, but this is America, and there are people who do hate.
It's, freedom of speech, Mark.
That's right, Mark. And
I think they give new meaning to hate.
Yes.
It's against the law to be a queer. Sodomy is illegal.
Really?
Yes.
It's also against the law to sleep with one's own mother and father.
Yeah.
Well, no one's doing that.
You guys, you don't know that.
Surely you didn't do that.
I don't think so.
You're not queer with your daddy, are you?
No.
But Mark, you wanted to say something. I know you were pacing the hall, so I'll give you an opportunity.
I wasn't pacing. I just can't believe this is part of America.
Yeah.
You, thank God, are in the minus. I mean, you're very few around.
We're not in the minus.
Oh, you are.
This country's not run by the majority anymore. The majority of the people do not like queers.
Really?
Go to the street and do
it's
a survey
something you
on
need
that.
never worry about. No queer would even attempt to sleep with you.
Well, that's great.
You need never worry about
shitting,
that.
Brother, that's wrote all over my face.
Now, Daniel,
I'd pour a 55-gallon drum of whoop ass on a queer if he looked at me funny.
Now, Daniel, you really came to life. As soon as Mark came in the room, I noticed you're ready for a good argument.
He got a twinkle in his eye.
No, he loves to argue.
No, I'm ready to fight if he comes over here.
Well, then go to Baghdad and have a ball.
So, Mark, you disagree, of course, with everything being said here by the Carver family, and
disagree would be being respectful. They're nuts.
You feel they're
oh, absolutely.
How
could they be normal? Was Hitler normal?
You can't get balls and nuts off your mind.
Was Hitler normal?
Let me remind you, you wouldn't have Broadway shows without gay people. And that you could easily, in your own family, have gay people.
And they're not even in the closet.
Not in the mountains.
If all you had was gay people, you wouldn't have no people.
Well, I don't say all.
Well, if that would eliminate the likes of you, we'd be better off.
Let me ask you a question, Daniel Jr.
He has jelly babies. That's the only kind of babies he can have.
Daniel Jr., let me ask you a question.
He has kids.
And they're educated,
let's
too.
Say you have kids, and let's say
that's the problem.
One of them was gay.
Okay.
Would you really want to see them have a miserable life in the closet?
Or would you want to kill your grandchild,
Howard,
Daniel?
it's not possible for one of my kids to be gay. It's impossible. It can't happen.
Is that true, Daniel? It couldn't happen.
It can't happen.
It couldn't happen.
Somewhere along the line in his genes, his family was on drugs. His dad molested him. Somewhere
nothing like that happened. But I dare say inbreeding in yours.
He went to a queer parade and got sucked into it.
Sucked is the word
So you stay away from those parades.
And he's so ugly, women probably wouldn't sleep with him.
Do you own a mirror? Do you look at yourself?
Mark tells me he's considered one of the best-looking guys ever.
For my age, I'm the youngest-looking white man.
Yeah, I bet when he goes into his gay bars, they just flock to him all around him.
FLOCK.
Now, Daniel Jr. and Mrs. Carver. But in your hate-filled world, you would think that Mark has double strike because he's Jewish and gay, right?
He's on the bottom for sure.
No.
Oh, really? You would know? Bend over.
If a nigger was drowning, I would pull him out. If he was drowning, I'd step on top of his head. And
Isn't that magnanimous of you?
I would not rescue a queer for nothing.
Now, have they ever had a
Because
gay
the Bible,
person in
the
their
Bible
family?
says if a man lies with a man like he lies with a woman, he
Right.
should surely be put to death.
So this is your feeling that
What would you like to do? Stone us?
You're probably stoned already.
No.
You know, Daniel Jr.
The pity is you're not.
They have to have had a gay person in their family at some point.
Tell me-
No, there's
Never.
no gay
Never.
people.
There's never been a gay person.
Never.
Never, no way. Go secretly spy and see if you can find one. There'll be no.
I am going to spy on the family and see if there's any gay.
Go right ahead.
I wonder in the Carver family what they must think when they masturbate, if they masturbate.
I don't think about no damn man. You can bet your ass.
So what do you think of a donkey or a goose?
Well, let me.
Anything be better than you.
Well, you know.
Which one said that? I can't.
Is there ever going to be peace on Earth?
Not if the Carvers have anything
there
to do
will
with it.
be. In the likes of getting rid of Hitler and Nazism, one day we'll get rid of these people
It's
too.
not Hitler.
Well, have to get rid of you
Nazism. It's Christianity. You can't be queer.
There's look. I slept with many in the Christian right, and it wasn't bad.
Well, do you agree the King James Bible says you can't do it?
No, I don't.
Well,
I think the Bible is man-made stories.
Maybe Howard. Oh,
That's
it's
why he's a
man-made
Jew.
story. Oh yeah,
That's
you're
why I'm a Jew,
yeah.
and so was
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Now, what do you have to say to that? Christ wasn't Jewish?
Yeah. Okay.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was just
wasn't.
circumcised for fun.
No,
Well,
he wasn't.
He was a rabbi.
If God,
You'll
wanted to
never
be your
change
way,
that.
he would-
Jesus was not of this world.
Adam
No, he
and
wasn't
Eve.
of this world.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and
Oh,
Steve.
that's such a
That's
stupid
such a
remark.
stupid thing.
Stupid
That's a
remark.
stupid
Well,
thing.
I can
Why
see-
do we have innies and outies, dumbass?
It's not the innies and outies is what I worry about is you not being in a straitjacket.
Well, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Did you ever
something.
hear of Thorazine?
No, never did hear that.
They'll start with that one.
Hey,
Instead of a
let me ask you a
straitjacket-
theoretical question. Daniel, I've known you many years. If I said to you, all of the Mexicans in this country would leave this country right now, but you would have to make out with Mark Harris, would you do it?
Are you crazy?
Now let me ask you, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't.
Keep him over here, will
I
you?
wouldn't do that because I've got a life after this one, and that would.
I'd rather stick an
So you would
enchilada.
rather have all the Mexicans living here?
I've got a better home after this life is over with, and to lay down with him would destroy my plans for my future life.
Why don't
Mrs.
you go to your
Carver-
better home now?
Mrs. Carver, certainly you would want your husband to kiss him to just get rid of all the people you hate in this country.
Of course I would not.
Really?
No.
I wouldn't let him.
I
kiss
would
my
put Daniel
ass
to
for $1
death
million.
myself if I thought he was with that.
That's killing her husband.
With that fact.
You would kill your own husband if he kissed Mark Harris.
I sure would.
Oh, it's worth
Wow.
a kiss.
What do you think of that, Daniel? Your wife would kill you.
Now wait a minute, Mark. Are you willing to
I'd
kiss
beat her
him?
to
based
it.
on
If
that?
she promises to murder him,
You would kill yourself.
I'd beat her to it.
You would.
So Mark,
If I got that low down, I'd want to be dead.
it's worth a kiss if she
Run over there
promises.
and kiss him.
I tell you,
Well, let me tell you something.
Listerine couldn't cut it.
This is a lot of hate. A lot of hate.
Howard,
No, it's love. We love our own race. We want to keep it white. We want to keep it clean.
But
you should
Mark
feel
is
real
white.
good. Howard,
Yeah, but we want white
I
kids
said clean.
too. Gays can't have white kids.
Use
said
Clorox.
Hey, let's
Mark's
see
not
what the
clean.
let's see
Mark's
what
can
the
they have
audience.
black
kids?
Let's go to
telling
the
you.
audience.
They should know that Mark has 2 children.
No, I have 4. But who's counting?
Well, I bet you didn't get them with another man.
He's by. He's
no,
by.
with you it's possible.
He's by.
He's got
with you, it's
400
possible.
of them.
Clint-
He flushes them down the shower after he has jelly babies with his queer friends.
Clint, you're on the air.
Hey now, Howard, great bit. I almost crashed the car.
and this ain't no bit.
This ain't no bit.
No, they're
This
for
is real
real.
life, man. This
These
is
are
reality.
great actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Howard, you got
Ain't no acting.
There ain't no acting going on in here.
I believe it. You got to do this more often. Get Gary the Retard's family in here.
All right. Well, next Wendy's family's gonna play Gary the Retard's family. So
Yeah, we'll keep lining up retarded families for the Klan people to beat.
Showing off the worst of America.
let's go to Connie. Connie, you're on the air. We've heard Wack Pack Family Feud. It was an exciting game. Yes, go
Hi,
ahead.
Howard.
Hi, Connie.
I love you, but I got to tell you, why do you keep letting him win money?
I
Now we've got the whole
We can't find
trailer
anybody to
family
beat him.
there.
They can't find nobody smart enough to beat us at anything.
Are you paying him in Confederate bills?
They seem to be on a roll. I wasn't predicting that.
We thought Artie Artie would beat him. He didn't.
Oh, I'm not the only one who lost to him. A chicken did as well.
You lost 25,000.
Maybe Artie can play Wendy's family then.
The Carver family can do anything better than the family that's doing it right now, except for what the queers is over there doing.
I bet you eat more than chicken.
Well, let's a lot of psychiatrists.
I bet you eat fish.
Daniel Jr., you've watched these shows, Oprah.
Yeah.
A lot of psychiatrists say when a man is so afraid of homosexuality that they might even have their own feelings of being gay, so they block out by hating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Have you ever had a gay thought? Like,
no.
even when did you have a towel snapping incident when you were a young boy? Or
That's when you picked out that shirt.
Yeah. But seriously, have you ever had?
No, I've never had a gay thought. If I did, I'd get
a sword
sick.
fight with a young boy.
No, I don't sword fight young boys. I guess I'm abnormal.
I see.
No, you could have slept over Michael's
I
house.
have a couple of friends that are gay a little.
A little.
Yeah.
I was a little
bowling alley.
pregnant.
Yeah, you do. And what do you like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like people.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of the family.
But I help them. If they're a little gay, I still help them out.
You help them do what?
Well, you wouldn't step on their heads if they were drowning,
No.
would you?
I would save them.
Oh, I see.
Well, Wendy, you're very
Gay
sweet.
guys are good to have as friends because you can go shopping together and look at girls together and shit.
Oh.
Or guys.
Gay?
Yeah.
You use the same toilet? Is that it?
All right. Well, isn't that nice? All right. Okay. Yes, there's one last phone caller. Go ahead, Scott.
Finally, someone said something smart.
Yeah, Howard, how you doing? I think the Carvers are the best thing on the radio you've had in a long time. I love the show, but with everybody being politically correct nowadays, I think they're wonderful, and I think they should stone Mark Harris.
You do. All right. Well, you agree with the Carvers.
Yeah,
All right.
now, that's right.
Right. Well, that's
To
the
hell
only
with
they're going
Mark.
to get.
Down with Mark.
Yes, Alex, you're on the air, and then I must...
Man, I was drove off the Ben Franklin Bridge. Hey, one question, though. When you go to are you going to get Jackie on? Because he's doing mortgage commercials on the radio. I mean, come on, give the guy a break, man.
All right, well...
I mean, I heard him on the radio, and that's like, come on.
You never know what's going to happen over
Get
it.
him on, that would be the greatest.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up Family Feud. I want to thank both families, the Carvers, and, of course, Wendy the Retard's family, who calls in all the time. Wendy, you're a doll.
It's always good to
Thank
see Wendy.
you, Howard.
And you know, baby, that you're going to get that special trip and cash and all that kind of stuff, too. Just have some fun there. Go see Velvet.
Howard.
Yes.
Melissa Fox, she emailed me the other day and wanted me to tell you that she said hi and she still listens to you and she missed running your show.
All right. Well, isn't that nice? All right. And the
I
Carvers.
just want to give a shout out to Larry, Tommy, and Curtis.
And I also wanted to give a plug to the guy I met on the street.
What guy? What? 3 guys.
You meant
three guys. And they said they were going to give me free comedy tickets to their show.
I bet they are. So they probably want to make love to you. That's
It's
the
like
I would like to give a plug out to Dan, Jim,
Marcus.
Marcus. All right.
at the I Am Pro.
All right.
Improv.
Thank you.
Okay.
The improv.
And I would like to say hi to Complex and hi to Beth and
Maybe we
Wendy.
have to end the show sometime.
Can we just say hi to all the white people out there?
Sure.
Wake up, white people.
Wendy, I know you've said in the past you're attracted to Daniel Carver.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make love to him, right? Yes. Mrs. Carver, you will never allow Wendy to be with your man, right?
Oh, Wendy, go ahead. You can have a little piece of him.
Yeah,
And try Mrs. Carver, too.
Isn't that nice, Wendy? So you are going to make love to Daniel Carver.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
It ain't going to be called rape. It'll be called
You'd
love.
make love to Howard, too, though, wouldn't you?
yes, I would.
Yes. You wouldn't make love to Fred,
Be
though,
a
would you?
threesome, me and you and Howard, honey.
If he's
That ain't
polite
happening.
and not rude.
All right, listen.
Well, look what's on Daniel's mind.
Hey, Daniel, I ain't doing a threesome with you and me and her.
Okay.
All right, come on. Your son will burn you at the stake for saying something like that. Well, Carver's, where is it? Back to home, right?
Georgia. We're going back to Georgia.
You going to stay
Back
in
to
New
the
York a little bit? Or
No.
A couple hours.
New York bums you out?
Of course. Ain't nothing up here but niggers
It's like
and bums.
visiting a zoo.
Exactly.
It's real similar to a zoo.
We
Walking
won't
around
go back
seeing
to
the
white
people out
country.
Going back to white country. All right. And I know, Daniel, you love to paraglide, I heard.
Yeah, I love to fly. I'm a paraglider. My son's a paraglider, too.
Will you ever get in full clan robes and
And fly?
No, it'd blow the hat off.
It would blow the hat off and
What a funny thought.
All right, and
Watch out, talking about blowing.
Right, Mrs. Carver. All right, listen, the game's over. Thank you to everyone for playing. There'll be future games. Let's don't bum out Wendy the Retard's family. There's a couple of prizes there for you guys. And Carver's, go ahead. What are you going to do with the money? We're
going to make some white robes.
White robes.
Silk sheets.
I'm going to make some anti-homosexual posters and stick them
You
around
certainly are fixated on that one.
Daniel Jr., I will say you've been staring at Mark pretty heavily.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I'm making sure he's not making any advances toward me.
My vision is very good. Don't worry about that.
Always keep your eye on the queers. You never know what
Just be careful of the banana peel I left outside.
Daniel Jr., you're a good-looking...
Good one.
Oh, Wendy liked that.
Daniel Jr.
When you fall, you may find a battery
Daniel
or two.
Jr., you're a handsome guy. I'm sure men have hit on you. They don't realize you...
No.
Never.
No, he's not handsome.
He's
Are
not
you
handsome?
kidding? Come on. You even have your glasses on.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's say thank you to everyone, Robin, on the Feud.
Yes.
And we'll come back. We'll find out what Mark's been up to, and then we'll do some news. And I've got a couple of tapes to still play for you. There's a lot of show left.